happen. We know the calculations, I'm sure many of you would have seen, right? So, for example, Kali Yuga in our Shastras, it says it is so many thousand years, 432,000 years, right? So, Dwapara Yuga was 2 times this, right? Treta Yuga was 3 times this, Sat Yuga was 4 times this. So, 432 into 10 times would be 1 Chatur Yuga, right? So, like that, 1000 Chatur Yugas is 1 day of Brahma, and 1000 Chatur Yugas of night. So after 1000 Chatur Yugas, there is Layam. So when Layam happens, what is, so this is the other Ratri, which is called Ishvara Ratri, which means that when this happens, all the Vyavaharas of all the Jivas are taken in, which means that your, karmas, right? Your different types of karmas, Prarabdha karma, which is already over, then you have Agami, right? So all the karmas are taken, and the, just like when you write on the board, right, on a blackboard, you keep on writing, right, for so many hours or days. After some time, you need to just clean it. Right, there is just so much dirt on that board. You just have to wipe it clean with some, wet cloth or whatever, right? So like that, Pralaya Kala is just, wiping the slate clean, right? So there is a fresh opportunity that is provided. This is Ishvara Ratri. And during that Ratri, there is no Jiva, no creation, nothing, right? The only thing that is there is Brahman with Maya in what we call as Bija Avastha. And this is in our the 3 bodies that we have, right? We have Stula, Sukshma, Karana Sharira. The Karana Sharira is what comes into picture during Pralayam. That is the causal body. So this is Avyakta. It is not possible to, understand, define, right? So this is the second Ratri. So this Suktam is applicable to both these Ratris, Jiva Ratri and Ishvara Ratri. So that is how so beautifully it has been written. So let us see, right? And of course, in this Suktam, if you see what is the Devata, so let us check the Suktam. I'll just open this. So it starts with this first Anuvaka, which says, Om Ratrirvyakyadayati Purutra Devya Akshibhihi Vishva Adishriyodhita. This is the first line of first sloka in this Suktam. So, O Ratri, which is approaching, right? Devya Akshibhihi. Aksha is eyes. So she is looking forth in many places with her divine eyes, in her grandeur. Vishwa Adishriyodhita. Right? So the night, Ratri Vyakhyadayati, the night is illuminated. Purutra Devya Akshibhihi, with many divine powers, with divine strengths. It is, she is looking forth in many places with her divine eyes. Vishwa Adishriyodhita, is risen above all prosperity. Adishriyodhita, right? It has risen above all prosperity. What is this? So Devi means she who illumines, right? It is from the Dhatu Div. So how we may say, what do you mean by Ratri is illumining? So it doesn't sound right. Ratri is darkness, which is Maya. So it is representing Maya, which is a form of Brahman, but the same Maya is obscuring Brahman. That is how it is. Just like a cloud, the example they give is a cloud. A cloud is formed because of the sunlight. The sunlight falls on the ocean gets evaporated, clouds are formed. Now that very cloud which is formed because of the sunlight is going to cover the sunlight. That is how Maya is. Maya, which comes from Brahman, is covering Brahman, right? So she is the one who is responsible for manifesting in world. So that is why she is Div, right? So that Ratri is Purutra, right? So it is there in all places, in all the worlds, right? So, and Akshibhi means eyes. What kind of eyes? Eyes which, the eyes that we have tell us the form, right? And it is not only the physical eyes that it is talking about here, it is all the 36 tattvas, right? When the universe is formed of the Akasha plus 36 tattvas, all that is what is meant by Akshibihi here, right? So this Prapancha is appearing because of these tattvas, right? Right from the Pancha Mahabhutas to all the 36 tattvas is the creation, and all this creation is appearing because of all these tattvas, right? So Maya has engulfed this world with all these tattvas, and then Ayati, she comes, right? She comes. When she comes, what does she do? She is the one who veils Brahman. So she is Brahma Mayatmika. So Jiva, which has Sat and Asat karma, right? Vyakhyata, right? Visheshena Pakshayati. So she says, what does this mean? She is seeing all the Papa and Punya karmas that you are doing, right? So of all the Jivas, because at the time of Pralaya we said, right? At the time of Pralaya, Ratri, that Ratri, which is not the Jiva Ratri, but the Ishvara Ratri, at the time of that she is taking stock of all the karmas of all the jivas, because now she is going to destroy. So Vishwa Adhishriyodita, she takes stock of all the, Shri here means karmas. Vishwa Adhishriyodita, she is taking stock of all your karmas before going to the next kalpa, right? And these karmas have not yet fructified, so these karmas of all the jivas, since it cannot give phala now, she takes it and tiraskurvan, she takes it into herself. Karma has not gone. So one of the misconceptions, confusions that people have is that at the time of Pralaya, it's all done, right? Whatever sins you have done is cleared. No, it is just like the Jiva Ratri. So for example, today night, right? You have been worrying about so many 100 things you have got to worry. But in that maybe 6 or 8 hours of sleep, everything is gone. But it doesn't mean tomorrow everything will not come back. As soon as you wake up, everything is back, right? Similarly, the same principle applies to Pralaya also. So all that palas which have not given fruit, she is taking note of, and she is putting it there, right? And it will all come back. She will give it back, right? So Sarva Karma Sakshi, that is what it means. Akshibihi here means she is a Sakshi. Sarva Karma Sakshitvam is what it represents. So Maya in the form of Ratri, she is taking all the karmas to the next kalpa. This is one explanation. So this is the first sloka. So this is what is the interpretation of the first sloka. This is based on Sayanar's Bhashyam, okay, because this is Vedas, right? So this is not Devi Mahatmyam, but this is part of Vedas. So we go to Sayanar Bhashyam for this. So this is what it means, Ratri Vekhyadayati Purutra Akshibihi and Vishwa Adhishriyodita. So this is what the interpretation of that is. Now, second, Orva pra amartya nivato devya udbhataha jyotisha badhate tamaha. Orva pra amartya. So the immortal beings who are dwelling on this earth, amartya, immortal, right? Orvapra, the beings. Nivato devya udvataha. This goddess is both in the udvataha means highlands, and nivato is lowlands. Lowlands and highlands, which means represents the different worlds. Jyotisha badate tamaha. She drives away the darkness with tamas, which is light. In all her grandeur, badate tamaha. So she is driving away darkness with light. So this night that fills the space with darkness at first, in the the sun when it rises, right? The night that was there is removed, right? So this is what the sloka says, that the darkness of universe is disturbed once the sun comes up, right? So, and she is immortal. She is the goddess of gods, who is the source of knowledge. Similarly, the night which is there is going away, because, and here it also represents the rise of knowledge. the darkness that is there in our mind, with the rise of knowledge, this darkness goes away and it destroys. The light of consciousness that is there, that comes, destroys the night of ignorance. Right? This is Amartya. So, Devana Sheela, because she is Gnana Swarupam as Chik Shakti, Antariksham and all that, right? So includes all the worlds. So she fills it by doing laya of all the worlds, and all the worlds appear because of her, and the laya of all the worlds happens in her, right? So she is Amartya. Nivata, right? So all the vastus, Chetana, Achetana vastus, right? So all of this, etc. So all of them, they are Jyotisha Bhadate Tamaha, the light which removes the darkness. What is that? When Pralaya Kala comes, all those. So what does it mean here for the Ishvara Ratri? When you say darkness and light comes and darkness is removed, the interpretation given is that at the time of Pralaya, all those who have done their karmas with the karma yoga in mind, which means they are attained chitta shuddhi, they are ready for jnanam, right? Such jivas, so with the anushtana and with chitta shuddhi, she removes their ignorance by knowledge, right? So she fills them with knowledge and removes their darkness. So this is what the interpretation given is, right? So Jyotisha Badhate Tamaha means all those jivas who have done karma and have had chitta shuddhi, at the end of the kalpa, she fills them with knowledge, removes their ignorance. This is one. Then the third, Niruspasaramaskrutoshasan devya yati apeduhasate tamaha. So, Niruspasaram Ashkrutan Toshasam. So, Ushasam. Ushas is actually the dawn. Ushas means dawn. So, it says, it is the sister, her sister Ushas. So, who created her sister Ushas? The goddess arrives and the darkness vanishes and rejoices. Apedu hasate tamaha. When her sister Ushas arrives, then the darkness vanishes and rejoices, right? So the Devi, how does she remove darkness? The sister of darkness is light. Mula avidya is removed, right? So we avarana, vikshepa and all we discussed, right? So in the last couple of days we have seen this. So avarana, vikshepa. Avaranam means the example that is given is the rope and the snake, the typical example. So when you see in a dark room, not properly lit, if you see a rope lying down, you may confuse that the rope, confuse it for a snake, right? You don't know whether it's a rope or a snake. That is Avarana Shakti, which means it's veiling the real form, right? So that Avarana Shakti, when it is removed and you realize that, oh, this is not a snake but it is a rope, right? So that means Avarana is removed. Then Vikshepam. Vikshepam is that it is creating something. There is no snake actually, but you are seeing a snake, right? So that is Vikshepa. So there is a power of Maya. These are the two powers of Maya. She can veil and she can also create, right? So these two have to be removed because they are Mithya. At the end of the day, they are not Satyam. It is Mithya. So that is Ushas. So her sister Ushas means it represents the removal of these two, right? Avarana and Vikshepa are removed, and those who have done Upasana, attained Chitta Shuddhi, she comes and removes this Avarana and Vikshepa, and because of the pralayam that is going to happen at the end of the kalpa, all their prarabdha is also gone because they are ready for it. So Ratri Devi is enabling the jivas to attain moksha. This is what it says. So then the next one, Sano Adyayasya Vayanniteya Manna Vikshmahi Vrikshena Vasatim Vajaha. Sano Adyayasya. She who is today for us, we bow down to you. Vayam nite yaman navikshmahi. We seek her, we look for her. Vrikshate vasatim vayaha. So our abode. So may that night be pleased with us today at this time, so that when the night comes, we can see the truth, right? We can sit down happily in our homes And this this mantra which says that this rik is a prayer to Ratri, right? That Ratri Devi, when she comes, we take shelter in her. How? By taking shelter in our real Swarupam, right? When we sleep, that is our real nature. No mind, no body, everything is dissolved, right? We get back into our basic self. That is our real nature. So it says that we are taking shelter in our real Swarupam. Just like birds, they take rest in the night when the night comes, right? Vrikshena vasatim vayaha. Like the birds go and take rest in their nests in the tree. So like that, when the night comes, we all take rest in our real Swarupa, which is, Sushupti Avastha. In our Sushupti Avastha, we take shelter when the night comes. Like the Pralayakala Ratri, which also, gives moksha and makes us all get that ananda, right? Similarly, Jivaratri also gives us that, but it's only temporary, right? That is permanent, this is temporary. So, this is a prayer. This rik is a prayer, actually. Okay. Nigrama so avikshata nipadvanto nipakshinaha nishyena saschidarthinaha. Okay, so it says Sarve jana means all kinds of people. Nigramaso means all kinds of people. Avikshatani padvanto nipakshinaha. So literate, illiterate, all kinds of people. It gives shelter. They all take shelter in her, in the Ratri. There is no difference for her, whether you are literate, illiterate, rich, poor, right? All of them. Not only that, it also, not only for humans, it's also for animals. They also take shelter. Also the birds, right? Arthinaha, those who are walking or moving around. Shena saha. Shena saha. Shena is vulture, eagles, all of these. This is made special mention because they are nocturnal creatures, right? So they also take shelter in her, right? So they don't sleep at night, but this night, which means in the Pralayakala Ratri, in this night, in the Jiva Ratri, they are nocturnal creatures, they don't sleep. But in the Pralayakala Ratri, they also will take shelter in her, right? So even if people who don't pray, everybody gets the experience, right? She's so compassionate, right? So she's a Parama Karunamayi. She doesn't see any of these differences. She gives happiness unconditionally. And if once the Kala is over, she will come like when the time comes, when the night falls, just like a child who doesn't know anything else, it goes to its mother, right? So just like that, it goes to its mother and takes shelter. Like that, all the animals, birds, right, they all go back to their nest and take shelter in this Ratri. Oh, Ratri Devi. So, Parama Karunamayi. Yavaya vrikyam stenamurme athana sutara bhava. So, Urmi, wave of darkness. Okay, so this one is Urmi means waves. So here it means Ratri. Ratri Rupa Chit Shakti. What should you do? You are full of kindness. So without seeing anything, as we have seen, Vrikyam. So Vrikyam here is interesting reference which is made. It is the female counterpart of a wolf, right? So in English, I don't know, it's called Wolverine or something, right? So in the night, it's dangerous, right? So the wolves are dangerous, right? So please, the inner meaning of this Wolverine here represents all our vasanas. The vasanas that we have acquired over, so many janmas. These vasanas is what is depicted here as a wolf, because that wolf is capable of destroying us. Just like that, the vasanas that we carry from all our Purva Janmas, they are capable of destroying us. So it says, so take all our vasanas and papa karmas. Stena means just like a thief who steals in the night, right? Please steal all these, vasanas from us, right? So, and what does the thief steal here? he is mainly responsible. The ignorance that we have is the thief, right? So it is responsible for stealing the sattva gunas of our mind, and it is responsible for kama, krodha, lobha, moha, right? All this we have seen. So, O Ratri, I have had enough of this samsara. Please take all our vasanas and all the arishta vargas that we have, and let this Ratri not steal our chittam, right? This is the prayer that we are making. The next one, Upamapepi shattama krishnam vyaktamastita usharineva yataya. So the darkness has come. Oh Usha, Usha is the goddess of dawn. Please help me tide over it, as if it is like a debt, right? I have to, return. So, Hey Ratri Devi, Chit Shakti, like, a vessel in which if you don't clean the vessel, right, there will be a black ash getting deposited inside it. So after a long time, you'll feel that this vessel's color is itself black, right? But when you clean, it will go off, no? So like that, it is stuck against the surface, no? So that is the kind of ignorance we are stuck in, right? So that tamas is, which is Krishna Varna, dark, black dirt. Please remove that. Remove that with the light. Usha Reneva Yataya means like, falling and at someone's feet and saying, please save me, right? I am, stuck in this quagmire of so many loans. Please help me get rid of my loans. Like that, we are praying to Ratri Devi. Oh Ratri Devi, please help me from all my papa karmas and vasanas. I bow down to you. Please help me from these enemies. Right? So this is the prayer that we are making to Ratri Devi. Krishnam vyaktamastita. Krishnam means black. Usharineva yataya. So we are praying that, oh Ratri Devi, please get rid of all these papa karmas and vasanas and give me jnanam. The final rik. Upataga ivakaram brunishvaduhitar divaha ratristo manna jigyushe. Okay, so final prayer that we are doing is, Hey Ratri, Chit Shakti, Parashakti, like a cow that gives milk. So, ga ivakaram vrinishva duhitar divaha. So everyone goes and worships such a cow, right? Gomata, right? So ga iva, like a cow. Upayataya, I will do akaram, I will do stuti, japam, I will offer prayers to you. Hey Devi, you are the daughter of, Paramatma, right? So born of Brahma, and you are born of Brahma and covering that Brahman, like we said, like the cloud that is born of sun and covers the sun, no? That example is given here, right? Vrinishva duhitar divaha. So, like that, which born of the sun, you go and cover the sun. So, like that, the daughter of Paramatma, we should win over you. May help me win over all my enemies, like Kama, Krodha, right? Vrinishva means it's a havis. So we offer havis to Agni, right? So it is an offering of havis and saying, Hey Ratri Devi, please help me win over all this, Kama, Krodha, all my enemies, and bless me with everything. This is the prayer that we are making to Ratri Devi. So finally, this is the end of the 8th trick. It has 8 tricks. So this is the end of the 8th trick. So what is the prayer that we are making in Ratri Suktam? So we are saying, Oh Ratri Devi, you are Pralaya Kala Ratri, you are Chit Shakti Swarupini, you are Maya Rupa, you are Jnanadayini, Mokshadayini, you are an embodiment of Karuna, Karunamayi Ratri. Without differentiating anything in the jivas, you take them into you. During Layam, at the end of Kalpa, according to their karma palam, according to their vasanas, right, you give them moksha. You also remove the avarana and vikshepa shakti, right? To all those jivas who have had their karmas attained with chitta shuddhi, you give jnanam. Sathya Devi, we do namaskarams to you. Please take us in your fold. Like the birds and other, beings who take rest in their homes and attain ananda, I should also attain ananda in your fold. For that, you should remove my moola ajnanam. You should accept my prayers and stuti, my havis, and grant me jnanam, O Ratri Devi. This is the summary of Ratri Suktam. We are praying to Ratri Devi to grant us jnanam. So, with that we complete Ratri Suktam. Let's quickly look at the other Suktam, which is Devi Suktam, which is also 8 riks. But this is simpler because most of the riks are, the meaning of these riks are very similar. So we will see that. This is the rishi for this is Vagambrini. So the daughter of Ambrini is Vagambrini rishi, right? And the context to this is that Vagambrini, after attaining Brahmajnanam, she is experiencing the Ananda, the supreme bliss that Brahmananda is that is emanating from her unity with the divine, right? And in that she is praising the Devi. So this is the context to this. So it says, Aham Rudrebir Vasubhischaram Yahamaditye Ruta Vishwadevaihi Aham Mitra Varunobha Vibarmyaham Indragni Aham Ashvinobha. So Aham, right? Aham means me, I, Rudrebihi, Rudras, Vasubihi, Vasuhu, Charami, I wander. I am Aham Adityaihi. I am also Vishwadevaihi, Uta Vishwadev, also Vishwadevaihi, Mitra, Varuna, Ubha, both. I only support. Indra Agni iti. So Aham Ashvina, Ubha, the 2 gods of medicine and health also, I am only, right? So what is this first verse saying? This verse first is saying, I am, right? I am. This means she is identifying herself with the Devi now and saying that I am the seer. I am the, the one who is, I am Rudrebihi, Aham Varunaha, right? So essentially, I am Rudra in this context, right? Similarly, Vasuhu, and it is to be understood that I act as the essence of all of them. I am Mitra, I am Varuna, right? All of these are sustained by me. So I am the support for both the Ashwins, right? And Indra, Agni. So I am the one who supports all of this. The entire universe is superimposed on me, just like a silver on a shell. No? So this is what this particular first rik is saying, right? Everything in the universe appears to exist within me just as a silver on an oyster shell, no? So if you see there's a silver lining on the oyster shell, right, which is just an illusion, no? So that Maya, which is cause of the universe, right, the Brahman, through it is the foundation of everything, and I am appearing as all of these. Aham Rudraha, Aham Vasuhu, right? Aham Adityaha, Aham Mitraha, Aham Varunaha, right? Aham Indraha, Aham Agnihi. I am only appearing. It is my own manifestations. All of these are. This is the first trick. Then the second trick says, Aham Somama Hanasam Vivarmiham Tvashta Ramata Poshanam Bhagam Aham Dadami Dravinam Havishmate Supravye Yajamana Yasunvate. So I am Soma. Soma can also be the moon as well as the the sacred drink Soma, which is offered in Yaga. Bibharmi. So I bear. Tvashta means the creator. So this rik essentially is saying that all the karma palas is because of me. I am the phaladata. So sunvate. So I am the karma phaladata, the yajamans who give the havir bhaga, right? So ahameva dharayami. So which means the havir bhaga, the soma bhaga, which is given to the gods, I only give the phalam for that. So the act of carrying the soma yaga, for example, in our Vedic tradition, right? It is very, it is a very important ritual. So the wealth that results, the phalam that results, I only am the phaladata for that, right? I here means the Devi is saying this. So this is what the second trick says. Then aham rashtri sangamani vasonan chikitushi pratama yagniyanam taman deva vedaduh purutra bhuristatra bhuryam veshayantim. So Aham Rashtri Sangamani. So I am the sovereign ruler, the God who governs this entire universe, right? I am the bestower of wealth, Vasunam, Chikitushi. So I possess the supreme knowledge, and having realized it as my true self, because Vagambrani is saying this. So I am the foremost among those Prathama Yagniyanam. So who is worthy of sacrifice? I am the foremost, the most prominent, deserving one. Tamman Deva Vedaduhu, right? So the gods have established me, endowed with such qualities. In many forms I exist. In variety of manifestations I exist in the universe, right? So whatever the gods do, in whatever manner they act, they all do it through me and for me only, right? Puristatram bhuryam vesayanti. So this is the third rig. Mayaso annamatiyo vipashyati yah praniti yai shrunotyuktam amanta vomanta upakshiyanti shrutishruta shraddhivante vadami. So one who eats annam atti, so one who eats the food, one who sees, then vipashyati, sees, praniti, one who breathes, right? One shrunoti, one who hears, uktam, one who speaks, and amantavaha means those who are ignorant of me, right? Upakshiyanti, destroyed. So what does this mean? So one who eats the food, one who sees, one who breathes, one who hears, right? Or even one who is ignorant of me as the inner self. For those people, these kind of people, they perish. So listen to me, O learned one. So because I am speaking to you with Shraddha, Shraddhi, Shuddham, so Shrudi, Shruta, Shraddhivante Vadami. So please listen to me carefully. I am telling you this with a lot of Shraddha, that the food eaten by me is me alone. The food eaten is me alone in the form of an enjoyer is me alone. He who sees, he who perceives, he who breathes, performing all actions, they all act through me. It is, similar to what we chant in Brahmarpanam, no? Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanautam. Similar context is what this mantra is also telling. And it says, those who does not recognize me will perish. Means they are diminished, right? So that is this. Then the next trick says, Ahameva swayamidam vadami dushtam devebhi ruta manusheebhi yang kama yetantam ugram kranomitam brahmanam tam rishim tam sumedham. It says, Ahameva swayamidam vadami. So I myself declare this truth, which is revered both by manushebihi and devebihi, but gods and humans. So whomever I desire, yang kamaye, tantamugram kranomi, tam brahmanam, tam rishim, tam sumedham. Means I make the person strong and powerful. I can make him Brahma, I can make him the creator, I can make him a rishi, rishim, and sumedham means a person with great wisdom, intelligence, sumedham. So this is, I am declaring this, that I, who is the nature of Brahman, who is revered by gods and humans, including Indra, everybody, right? This entity, whomsoever I desire, whomsoever I wish to protect, I can make that person powerful, strong, elevate him, I can make him the very creator, right? So I can make him a sage who can perceive beyond his senses. I can also make him a person of great intelligence, right? This is what? Fifth. Then aham rudraya dhanurata nomi brahmadvushe sharavehan tava'u ahanjana'aya samadhankrano yaham dhyava prativi avivesha. So this particular passage is actually referring to the victory of Shiva with Tripurantaka, right? So Tripura was a Rakshasa. So this is referring to that where Shiva is killing that Rakshasa. So during the time of victory over Tripura, it says, I stretched the bow of Shiva, right? So, and I drew its string for the purpose of killing the demon who was very hostile, right, to all the devatas. So I was responsible for that. That demon was destroyed by a powerful arrow, right? So this is what this particular rig says. Aham janaya samadam kronomyaham dhyava prithvi avivesha. Aham rudraya dhanuratanomi. So I only did that, right? So that is this rig. The seventh rig says, Aham suve pitaramasya mordhanmamayoni rapsva antassa mudre tato vitishthye bhuvanani vishvotamum dhyam varshmanopasprishami. So I have perceived, it says that dhyava, dhyau pitha. So that is reference to, literally it means father, but in this case you have to take it as heaven. So I only generated all this, right from heaven to all the worlds. Akashad vayuhu, vayoragnihi, agnerapah, adbyah prithivi, everything. All this creation happens because of me. I only have created all this. I am the very cause of creation. Everything from the space onwards exists just as a cloth exists in threads, right? So I am the source of the creation. And the cause, as in the ocean, the cause is the water, right? So ocean here symbolizes the Atman, right? From which everything else originates. So in that, so I exist as the essence of Brahman, which is the very cause of creation. This is what this rig says. The last rig, aham eva vata iva prava'am yarabhamana bhuvanani vishva'a paro divapara ena prathivyai mahina sambhabhuva. So I move with the force of the wind, the entire universe, right? They all originate. So I move with the force of the wind, setting the worlds in motion. I am beyond the sky, beyond this earth, and pervading the entire universe with my greatness and mahina sambhabhuva, greatness and vastness. I pervade this universe with this, right? So basically it is embodying what the Atman or the universal self is. It acknowledges the role of the self in the creation, sustenance of the universe, and all the transformations that are being controlled by that supreme self. So this is what this particular Suktam talks about. So we have seen two, Ratri Suktam, Devi Suktam. Ratri telling us the significance of Ratri Devi, and Devi Suktam telling us the significance of the Supreme Self, the different manifestations of the Supreme Self, Aham Rudrebihi, Aham Vasubihi, etc. Right? So this is the two Suktams. With this, I think we have completed the text along with the two Suktams. So I think my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan for providing this great opportunity to have this satsang, and also to all of you who have patiently listened to me over these few days. This is whatever I have said, there is nothing in this which is I can call as mine. All of this is all blessings of the Sadguru and our Guru Parampara, right? There is nothing in it which is mine. And I have only been able to, talk about a few things that I have received. There are so many things which I am sure I have not been able to communicate. And whatever mistakes I have made, they are all mine only. Nothing goes to anybody else, right? So with this, I conclude this session and offer my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Sri Sai Ram.
साई भवानी दया करो साई माँ, कृपा करो साई माँ। ना श्रीकरा सर्व प्राणपते स्वामी सर्व प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपत्पाण्डवा ॐ जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवमु मरियल्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियल्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्र शयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्वी ओ साई महादेव सत्य साई महादेव मंगल आरती अंदुको मंगल आरती अंदुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति शांति शांति
जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
जय
Sairam. Sairam to all. Good evening. And tomorrow is the last day of Saptashati Parayanam, and the Chandi Homam would be held tomorrow. Morning 5:30 a.m. The program will start with the Go Puja here, followed by Chandi Homam, then followed by Purnahati around 10:15 to 10:30. And after that there will be a bhajan session, followed by Bhagwan's discourse, and 12 o'clock Maha Mangala Arati. We request all to participate and have the blessings of Bhagwan. And